Hello, everybody, and welcome to Valencia, Spain. This is the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. It's quarterfinals day, and it's Belarus taking on Sweden. Well, Sweden, we thought the last time they played Belarus, that was an indicator they might be on the way out of the tournament, but they had the powers of recovery coming back and winning a vital qualification for the quarterfinals game against Italy, which you wouldn't have thought was possible, especially the way Italy started this tournament. But Sweden got the better of them. Also France and Bosnia and Herzegovina tipping off right about now over in Strasbourg. And then later tonight, 2 more games. And of course, we will see Spain and Serbia playing here. Belgium and Russia will play the late game in Strasbourg. So you can see the winner of this Belarus game will advance, and Belarus-Sweden rather, will advance to take on the winner of France and Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Azania Stewart. And Azania, are we going to see the Sweden that played the last time to get to this game, or are we going to see the Sweden that played the first time against Belarus?
Well, as long as Sweden come out how they did the last game, Jeff, they came out, you know, energized, smiling, clapping. But this isn't the first time they've played this Belarusian team. They played them in the group phase, and Belarus beat them 78-54. So, you know, Belarus has had a few extra days because they actually won out in the group stage, and Sweden only played 2 days ago versus Italy and beat them 64-46. So they look like one cohesive team, played very, very great. And do you know what was a big factor, like I said before, was, you know, the coach, the players on the floor, the bench, they were all up, clapping, smiling, putting up the 3 signal before the shot even went up and in. So that was definitely a big factor. But wow, have they got a tall, strong Belarus, you know, warrior challenge in front of them, Jeff, because Belarusians have been tough in my opinion. But the vote so far to the MVP of Alexandra Bentley, in my opinion, they better have scouted her and figured out some way how to stop her, because if they don't, her Bentley engine is going to be full force tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you might, you know, in a compliment, this is a compliment, you might describe Alexandra Bentley as the head of the snake. If you can take her out of it, you've got a better chance. I'm sure that Sweden will have come up with a new wrinkle to address that issue. In many respects, you can only worry about yourselves, but part of me thinks that Belarus, with Coach Trofimova, if they play at their best, they're going to be awfully hard to beat with all of the different options, the size, the play of Bentley, and the experience. But anyway, we are going to have a pause in the commentary for the national anthems of Sweden and Belarus.
And now please remain standing for the national anthem of Belarus. officials.
Well, wonderful time to hear that
quarterfinal
national anthem. How about the
match
referees? Thomas
between
Bijuel in the middle from
Belarus
France, Jelena
and
Tomic
Sweden.
from the left,
The crew
from
chief,
Croatia, and
Mr.
Slovenia's
Thomas
Blaž
Bijuel
Zupancic,
from
getting the
France.
honor of doing
Umpires,
this game.
Miss Jelena Tomic from Croatia and Mr. Blaž Zupancic from Slovenia.
And well, Sweden, this is a great effort for them. Don't forget, even the team that loses this game will still have a very important game coming up. They'll try to play to finish in the top 6 to make it to the qualifiers for the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. So there is no doubt that's a crucial moment there for Sweden, Azania.
Yep, and we'll see the starting line.
Of course, was a member of those Belarusian teams, you know, a while back. So
yeah, but do you know what stood out to me about Bentley, Jeff, in the last time they played Sweden? She was in such a zone and so focused that I actually saw her say, they can't guard me. And that's how she truly felt. And when you're in that mindset where you see the ball go through the, you know, the net, and whatever you put up, you know, is going in. She was really feeling herself, and no doubt when she comes off the bench, she will come in and inject some energy.
You can see there that Sweden have never qualified for the semifinals of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket, and Belarus have ranked first in Women's EuroBasket 2021 with 4 blocks per game, and that fact has Vermanyika written all over it.
Yep.
You might as well just substitute the name Vermanyika for Belarus.
I think so. I think she's been having at least 2 to 3 every game. There she is, number 10. She is a tough ask. Also, I just hope Sweden isn't afraid of that. Still drive. They do live and die by the 3, and I think you'll see a lot of shots because they will be afraid of that, you know, block shots. But so what? Create contact, you know, get in there and make the referees call a foul.
Now, who was it that we were calling the fine wine team?
Serbia.
Okay, well, there's a little bit of that fine wine flavor
Belarus.
in Belarus.
I would agree.
Vermanyika, she's like vintage, like auction it off. You know, she's that important. She has been amazing, certainly in that last game. So Marco Crespi looking on from Sweden, and we're about ready to roll. Well, hello everybody, good evening, early evening from Valencia, Spain on the Mediterranean. It's the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Belarus winning the opening tip, wearing the white and attacking the basket to the right, going up against Sweden, who upset Italy and beat them convincingly to make it this far. And Anastasia Vermanyika comes right out and says, you're going to get the A-star version of Anastasia Vermanyika tonight. You better be ready. Frida Eldebrink. Her attempt rattles out. She was open. Now Likarovic. And again, with Bentley coming off the bench, Belarus have the ultimate spark. And this time, Yellen Eldebrink was alert and saw the pass coming and batted out with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Keep an eye on Johansson and Lloyd. I felt like they were keys in the last game. Of course, Frida, you know pretty much what you're going to get from the Elderbrinks. They need support, and both Johansson and Callis Lloyd and Nystrom, in fact, all three were just tremendous. Viktorovich throws it away.
We spoke about scout, didn't we, before, Jeff, so I hope they really scouted their last game where they weren't very successful, but they were running out on people who don't shoot threes, who aren't aggressive. So hopefully they've got to watch their film, which wasn't so long ago.
You know, they probably did. Here goes Elderbrink. Yelling Elderbrink hands it off. Johansson, look at that. Already the 17-year-old, the first points. And now the pass thrown off the back by Ziyskova to Popova. And it allows Frida Elderbrink to launch a three.
And that's what we're talking about, that confidence, Jeff. The whole bench stands up and they're feeling it. And this is the Sweden that we saw 2 nights ago, for sure.
Cannot afford to start these games flat. Doesn't matter who you are, you got to be ready. Ziyskova puts up an air ball, and I'll tell you, it was such a bad shot, it almost went off the legs of Nystrom and out of bounds, but she collected it. And here's Lloyd, and she goes right at Vermayenka and actually gets the shot off, which was an accomplishment, but she missed it.
Yeah, and you have to get quick transition baskets if you're gonna, you know, not go in there with big Vermayenka down low. She catches the ball.
Great point. Only she hustled back on defense, so it prevented that from happening. Nystrom, who has become kind of an X-factor player in this Sweden team, the way she shoots the basketball. Yellen, can she chase it back in time? She steps out of bounds. So both teams now, a little bit of miscommunication on the passes. That was Frida drilling it.
Yeah, it's good to see the ball go through the net early, especially for those two.
See if Belarus can get the ball down low again. Get it to Vermayenka or Popova. Riksikava. Viktorovich, they come out and guard her now. She kind of forces one up there. Seemed like it was a pretty fast shot clock.
I was, actually. But on the women's EuroBasket Instagram, we got to hear one of the Elderbrink sisters talk about how important it was that this is their last moment potentially to play together and for their national team. So as we see one of them there, that's Frida, jump shot. They understand how big this is for their country, and they're going to come out and perform as she hits a shot right there.
Yeah, when we get a moment, you can just kind of remind everybody of how emotional the scenes got for Sweden at the end of their win over Italy. Here's Vermayenka over to Viktorovich, and again, Yellen goes out and guards her, and Viktorovich goes right past her. And I'm pretty sure, well, Crespi is telling his players, hey, don't guard her, make her hit the shot first. And now Viktorovich, who hasn't really been a scorer, gets a layup. And that means seeing the basketball go through the basket. Lloyd. Sweden still leading 7-4, but no longer. That's the player you have to guard, Popova, wherever she is.
Yeah, we haven't really spoke much about Popova, but she came in being the top scorer for this team and is very dangerous down low, and obviously can shoot the long-range three-pointer.
Yellen, a little bit of contact, and Ziyskova with the rebound. Good D by Belarus. Now another turnover as they try to pass it down low and get it to Vermayenka. She's tall, but she's not that tall.
Yeah. As we see Popova's three there, she does have that long range.
Into the game for
Nothing but net.
Tarasova is coming into the game, who had some huge shots against Sweden in the first meeting. So all tied up. Yellen fouled by Tarasova, number 5.
I was called on number 5 from Belarus. That's a first personal foul.
Frida, shot clock winding down. She's going to have to launch it with Vermayenka on her. I'm not sure she got it off in time. And, you know, Vermayenka is, you know, she's a veteran. She's tall, but she's probably faster than she looks as well. She's able to stay with anybody. So you better get rid of it.
Yeah, and she's long and lean, so even if you do beat her, she's got those long arms to change your shot.
Blocking foul called on Sweden. So Sweden had a little momentum early, but Belarus have stabilized things. And, you know, you have to say, really, in a way, it's advantaged Belarus because they haven't even brought Bentley in yet.
Right.
And once they bring in the high-octane guard, it becomes a little more problematic for the Swedes. Viktorovich. Vermayenka, boy, soft touch. She really did need a couple of games before she found herself. And boy, she has been good.
Yeah,
she likes the side of Sweden.
Yeah, not just that range, and she's so tall.
Krasova picks up number 2 with a trip.
With Vermayenka being so tall and her shot being so high release, it's really hard to guard there, as we see. Miss Bentley sub-in. So it'll be interesting to see how they defend her. They change up defenses or what they have ready.
So Bentley comes in with Belarus leading 9-7. There's Lloyd. Good rebound, sneaking in there was Nystrom. Belarus standing around a little bit. Everybody went for the ball. Elderbrink and Lloyd with the offensive rebound, but with Vermayenka there, decides to pass it back out. Nystrom open, and that's going to count.
Yeah, she's very, very hot. She shot very well last game from the three-point line, and her team believes that, you know, she's going to make that every time she shoots it. She's playing very well for Sweden in these last couple of games.
Yep, number 8 is great. How about Vermayenka? And Frida Elderbrink grabs the rebound. Yeah, just to put it into context, Ellen Nystrom came into this shooting 8 of 19 from three-point range. She has been utterly electric. Here she is again, open and right on cue. We built her up and then she let us down. Popova spins.
Oh, she needs to put that up there.
Tarasova with those 2 fouls. Quick pass back down low, and the patience, I guess, is rewarded. She earns a trip to the line. So Hasper comes back in as well, as you look at Frida Elderbrink, who is going to get a minute out of the game. And interesting, Nat Fontana has come in, so she's missed a couple of games. And also Vincent Drame is coming in. This is a look again at that foul.
Yeah, Fontana, she took a hard fall a couple games ago. Jeff fell on her knee and didn't play the last game against Italy. You can see she's number 4 for Sweden. Her knees are quite taped up, so I'm really happy to see her back out here because she is a tough workhorse-like player for Sweden.
She also has other tape, like for what appears muscular issues or something. I don't know.
It's kinesio tape, I think, all over her legs, Jeff.
Vincent Drame, she wants to get rid of it unless she's going to the rack. Yep, she's open, she puts it up. And maybe not the best decision there from Vincent Drame, especially coming right off the bench. Here comes Bentley, she's got the eye of the tiger. You can see she's on the prowl. She gets it over to Hasper. Tarasova now. Back to Hasper, who's been perhaps very underrated. Look at that, how she's able to pick up the loose ball and score with ease. The big center.
Yeah, an even bigger body. She subs for Vermayenka. That's tough.
And now another careless turnover, and Marco is going to call a timeout. So 33-year-old Hasper gets her first 2 points. Let's go down to the Sweden bench.
We make execution too slow. Okay, so we make a call, set up, and after set up, everybody is ready with active body language, and boom, 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 boom. Otherwise, if we go slow, they are slow, but they can't match up. Okay? We need it. Now we can have execution, every system effective. Remember.
Wow, that was really interesting, wasn't it? It was just like you were talking about. Why don't you share with us what he was, or just kind of, they could hear it, but.
Yeah, they can hear it, but just in that timeout there, coach from Sweden was saying we're going way too slow, that we want to push the tempo, get them running up and down. They are a team that is, you know, they're quite long and they're bigger players and they get tired. So where you need to play your advantage if you're Sweden is the fast break layups, is the quick hitters, solid defense, and make them run up and down. So that's exactly what he said. And that's what I said, Jeff. I'm pretty sure I should be a coach too.
But also, was he also talking about the half court as well, or was it just talking about beating them down the full court?
Yeah, okay. Transition. Because half court, they match up well with them. Also, they've decided they hedge hard on Bentley as well. So it's like a mini trap if you watch this. So they've definitely scouted her. Watch this little long trap.
Do you think she recognizes that already?
Yeah.
Here's Popova. And good rebound from Eldebrink. Hasper had her hands on it. She wasn't able to control it. So Sweden now trailing 12-10. And Yalen thinks twice about going up against Hasper. Alice Nystrom has checked in. There's Lloyd. And she is swatted as well.
Well, there goes one of 4 a game. And that's tough there. She times that great.
I wonder why she doesn't go into her and get the contact. She doesn't want to go to the hospital. Lloyd, oh boy. Benthedrame alertly puts it up but misses everything, so the shot clock violation turns it back over.
Yeah, tough defense there by Belarus. Very, very good.
I see no signs of Sweden being able to drive the ball in the half court right now.
Yeah, unless you spread out the floor, maybe do a 5-out or something like that. But also Nystrom here needs to make a move, number 58.
Oh, Hasper. Oh, how in the world did she not turn that over? Sweden had him right where they wanted her. Bentley certainly being suffocated. Viktorovich and pushed out by Fontaine. And I don't know if that's necessary.
No, it's just a big body. It's just trying to put. Let's have a look down there. Yeah, it's a bit too much maybe. But 58 for me, Jeff, for Sweden has to make a move. She's got to be a presence down low.
Well, Popova goes out, comes in rather, and misses everything.
It's unlike her. Yeah, Alice Nystrom, number 58. I need her to be more aggressive.
Where to pass it. Here's Lloyd, nice pump fake, steps back, hand in the face. And similar to the last meeting between these two teams, which wasn't that long ago, right now Sweden finding it very difficult on offense to get good looks.
Yeah, because they're not really looking inside for me. They're getting the pick and roll and then they're switching, and then you have the mismatch down low, but they're not looking inside. They want to shoot the long shot, and they will live and die by it.
Bentley. Oh, she just needs a little bit of time. She misses, but then Nystrom didn't react quickly enough to get the rebound. So Belarus, again, trying to extend that early lead. Shot clock about to expire. Yes, you knew it was coming. Well, Lloyd perhaps a little guilty of not getting the hand up. I'd have to see it again. She was close. Benthedrame again, another three. I'm not sure that's the shot.
That's not the shot for me.
Wants.
Nope. But Bentley's seen the ball go through the rim now, Jeff, so.
She wants to see it again. Fontaine. Fades back, great D. Good D at the end. They definitely have a better plan of attack against Alexandra Bentley. But even with that, Belarus still had the better running. Well, I guess she did have her hands extended. Lloyd, she's got to give credit to Bentley there, who hits the shot, and Belarus lead at 15-10 at the end of one in this quarterfinal.
Here's the end of the quarter stats. 2 from 5 for three-pointer from Belarus, and 2 from 8 for Sweden at the three-point line. No doubt they will keep shooting those three-pointers. And here we see the best players of the first quarter action. And it's Vermienka with her go-to turnaround jump shot.
As we look at these plays, Azania, I kind of get the feeling just by looking over, first of all, at the body language of the Belarusian players that, okay, we're fine, we're where we want to be. And I also see from Crespi, his reaction is like, well, we're actually kind of doing what I feel like we need to be doing.
Yeah.
So.
But the Belarusians don't really get rattled, do they, Jeff? We've seen them, you know, be solid with their first win when it was kind of ugly against Spain. We've seen them lose and not really still get rattled when they lost against Slovakia. We didn't think that was going to happen. They put a beating on Sweden the last time, but credit to Sweden that they've come out definitely ready, that same faith and that same energy that they came. And it's difficult to beat a team twice, you know, especially in a tournament like this. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't like to say, you know what, today I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, because every time, Jeff, I've said who I think is going to win.
It's been the kiss of death.
Yeah, so I'm just going to keep that kiss.
You're going to let them play it out.
Yeah.
Well, only one starter on the court right now for Sweden as the second quarter is underway, and it's Yelen Eldebrink. Here's Lundqvist, who's just come in. Shot on Fontaine, nope, but a rebound by Lundqvist, who's a real terrier in there. And Nystrom. Alice Nystrom with the rebound. Now Lundqvist again. And look at Nystrom go up again and get another rebound. Well, this is going to be 3-4 bites at the cherry. Eventually, you're gonna make a shot. Nystrom shares it, and Drame hits it. Well, that's the importance of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Nystrom, very, very good work down there below, under, getting second opportunities for Sweden. Some of those, I think she just needs to go right back up, especially if one of the posts aren't on her.
See on the court for Belarus. Hasper, Popova, Richikava, Tarasova, and of course Bentley. Hasper down low to Popova. Oh, she catches it that close.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, buried her right under the rim.
I think Crespi knows this team offensively might struggle a little bit. Here's Lundqvist. Another offensive rebound. Belarus guilty of standing around and watching the last couple of times. Ooh. Even Eldebrink surprised herself with the way the ball hit off the backboard there. Hasper doing a great job of working and getting a good shot.
Sweet little touch there off their backboard. You love a backboard shot, don't you, Jeff?
I'm just amazed at how good offensively Hasper is. I mean, she's like almost automatic.
Yeah, she is. She's got great touch around the rim.
Drame on the deck, gets inside. And the game's starting to get away from Sweden. Dangerous moments for the Scandinavian country. Nystrom with the rebound. Big possession here. Sweden looks to stop the bleeding. Bentley reaches around and commits the foul. And look at Trofimova consulting with her assistants, the brain trust of Belarus, the way forward. Here we go again, look at Hasper. I mean, that, you know, she makes that shot look easy. Tarasova goes out, as does Popova, and coming back in is Vermayinka and Zyuskova. So
Number 10, Anastasia Belarus. And into the game for Sweden.
maybe at this point you'd have to say Belarus is the surprise. Oh, this is a second quick foul. What's that, two fouls in 5 seconds for Bentley?
Yeah, and she just turns to the coach and says, I'm good. Don't sub me out. Just got in, coach. I'm fine. So she just has to readjust to the referee.
If you look at the bracket, you'd have to say that maybe Belarus is the real surprise to be in this position right now. I'm not sure how many people were talking about them before the tournament. Traveling the call. Zyuskova held her ground, forced the turnover on Elderbrink, Frida Elderbrink.
Yeah, with Belarus being in the group phase with Spain, everyone put their money on Spain, but they beat them by a buzzer beater and they won out the group. So they had a fair few days off.
And it set up a quarterfinal between Serbia and Spain that I don't think anybody would have anticipated.
I'm excited for that one, Jeff.
Oh, good defense from Fontaine. And then nobody hustling for Sweden at the end. Hasper, even there, she was able to get a decent shot off. Drama. And another foul. You know, Sweden are going to be going to the line potentially early here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and they're a pretty good free throw shooting team. So what is that, 3 team fouls?
So that foul on Ritsikava, yes it is. 2
Substitution
fouls on Bentley. Lloyd again, absolutely tremendous against Italy. And you know, you feel like she just needs to keep plugging away and get back to that level where she was against the Azure for Sweden to have a chance. And Elderbrink goes hard. Johansson, instead of going right back up with it, passes it back outside. And I think that's inexperience, perhaps.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. They're so now worried about a team that is a blocking team, which they have got some, but those rebounds right under the rim, you've got to get them and, you know, score them very, very quickly. You can't afford to sometimes reset. If you've got a cheap one at the rim, get it up.
Well, you got to talk about the Twin Towers of Belarus, the Twin Towers from Minsk out on the court right now, and Bentley wanted a potential three-point play. She has to settle for a couple of free throws.
Yeah, they're on their way to their average of 4 blocks a game as Bentley goes to the rim and gets fouled, and they've already got 2. So, and we're in the second quarter with 5 and 6 minutes still to play.
So Bentley at the line, and even though Sweden have a plan, they plan to guard her a little differently. Belarus are proving or revealing themselves to be formidable with more people contributing. She makes both, and their biggest lead of the game, 9 points. It has been a drought for Sweden. Lundqvist tries again, gets blocked again.
That's and number 3.
Bentley pulls up on the break.
Yeah, that's pretty. She just gets to her spots where she's so successful, Jeff. Right there, front of the rim.
Vermayinka is just quite possibly the best pivot, the best big in this tournament. She's completely changed the game, you know, with some help from Hasper.
Yeah, and then you sub in Popova.
But from a shot blocking standpoint, having both of them out there means there's nothing that's going to be available anywhere close to the basket.
Yeah, nothing easy at all. And then they're solid down low in offense as well.
So the Elderbrink sisters will both be on court now. Yalen comes back in for Lundqvist there. Who, look at this, Bentley, you say, getting to her spots and making it look oh so easy. It's an 11-point lead for Belarus. Lloyd from the top, and it's interesting. Oh boy, Popova called for a foul there. Johansson has to play big here. She has to be strong with the basketball. Easier said than done. Easier said than done when you're going up against these two. Elderbrink open. And it's just the whole vibe, the whole confidence. It all connects together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And even, you know, those were shots that were going in against Italy. But all credit to Belarus for making life difficult.
Yeah, but good solid defense here, and coach wants to talk about it, calls a timeout. He uses his timeouts pretty well, doesn't he? He feels when the momentum's really swinging, he's not afraid to call a timeout and get his team back on the same page.
Belarus do have
We missed just just one detail when there is no screen. Am I out? Because small guy, wait 1 second. You set peak with angle, okay? Stay, because they want to go under immediately. So stay 1 second. So if they go under, we see. And also it could be rescreen, you understand? Okay, stay and wait, because if they go under, also breathe and you can take them immediately.
well, there's, yeah, she's been the...
She's got better with time, obviously at her age, but we're talking about within the tournament. She started off a bit slow and sluggish, but here she is getting block shots. She's getting to what she likes, which is a turnaround jumper. She's not a post player that likes to bang down low or make strong post moves like Popova. So there she is, Miss number 10, Veromienka.
4 points, 3 rebounds, but probably even the more important stat for her are the blocks.
Yep. And she's very tall, Jeff. She's probably about, she's on the website as 6'4", but she's taller than me because I'm 6'4". So I would say she's 6'5", and then with her long arms, that's 7 foot trying to shoot over.
She's got the wingspan.
Sure does.
She can wreak havoc. See what Sweden do differently here. Elderbrink pulls up, able to chase it back. Johansson gets on the ground. At least they're able to tie him up, but it's going to be Belarus basketball.
See what I mean? They get the pick and roll, they get the switch, and they keep picking the guard to try and beat the big. The bigs are too mobile. How about you try and get it inside with the post player posting the smaller Belarusian player up. Anyway, that's just my opinion. What do I know?
Popova dumps it down low to Veromienka. She goes to work on Johansson. And 2 free throws awarded. She's so intelligent. Johansson will get better.
No doubt.
But she's going up against a player that's 16 years older than her, that's been around.
That's unbelievable, isn't it, Jeff? No doubt she got much, much better from this tournament. She's 17 years of age, and she has so much potential. It's unbelievable.
But what I will say is that Veromienka is really looking like her old self right now.
Yeah, she's a super veteran. You know, some days you just have those sluggish days, and then her team really needed her, and she's got herself going. And she's 1 from 2 from the line.
Well, it has been a long time since the Sweden team has even scored.
See what I mean? Here, look, Nystrom down low on Bentley. Post up, please.
Another miss.
Yeah, they're not looking for that mismatch down low.
They haven't scored since 49 seconds into the second quarter. So that is a drought of epic proportions. Fontaine. And they're on course right now to have the lowest score of the tournament, if this keeps up. They've done a decent job on Bentley. Here's Vermanika again. Woo! And she is looking tough. Wow.
That's her signature move, baby. Turnaround jumper on the money.
Vermanika, 5 rebounds to go with her 7 points. Also has the block.
Yeah, you see, now everything's short because they're afraid of their shot getting blocked. You can't play afraid. Might as well just pack up and go home if you're going to do that.
Vermanika again turns this time. 14 points the advantage. Sweden, you would think, would like to get to 10. They are being outscored 11-2 in the quarter. And foul called, a hold. You would think that at least somebody would be able to hit a jump shot. But again, it just seems like it's just becomes so much harder the longer that it goes on to put the ball in the basket with this Sweden team.
Yeah, I hope at halftime they just kind of have a look at where else they can get a bucket from.
Why don't they bring Nystrom back in? I'm talking about Ellen Nystrom.
Oh yeah, the other twin.
Tarasova. Turns, gets up, and this time good box out by Fontaine. She didn't go for the ball. She kept Popova away from the ball. Eldebrink drives in, finally gets a basket for Sweden, and Trofimova wants to use her timeout, not let it go to waste.
Here we see Frida finally use her speed. I think that's what they've been trying to get, but I don't know. I think they can really use the mismatch down low, but we'll listen in to Belarus's timeout.
We got you guys.
Хорошо, давайте сыграем просто моушен. Только сыграйте несколько раз, даже может быть 3 раза. Понятно?
Hey, don't let up. Keep going.
Спокойнее, спокойнее. И в защите чуть больше, видите, там прошел проход просто-напросто. Простой проход, там не было никого не прошить.
Well, we've been talking about what Belarus have done well, and one thing that they've done well is that they've trusted this player right here, Hasper, who has been a very pleasant surprise on both ends of the floor. Her experience, her ability to score, her defense, her offensive rebounding, you name it, she does it. Victoria Hasper is a huge part of
4
this
points,
success.
4 rebounds.
And 2 blocks.
2 blocks, wow. Well, I think the post play is way too much for Sweden to handle. They're just too tough, too big, too strong, mobile. If they're going to get back into this game, they have to take those 3 away.
And maybe we didn't give them enough credit for the defense they played against Spain on opening night, though I think Spain did miss a lot of layups. Both teams did, in fact. Popova. Oh, she got in there, and look at the quick hands from Frida Eldebrink.
They need a bucket here. They can't pull out.
Oh boy, she almost walked. And Nystrom with the rebound. Oh, this will be big possession. There's Eldebrink again. She gets it to Drame. She's got to be able to hit this shot. Sweden absolutely ice cold. I mean, from three-point range, just 2 threes have fallen for them. 2 of 18, 2 of 19 now after that last miss.
Yeah, they'll be happy to halftime's coming in 7 seconds.
And Belarus were giving it away. Here we go. And Elderbrink rebounds the miss, but it's not going to be enough time. Well, I think we've said this before. It could be worse for Sweden, but that will come as no solace because Belarus have been much better. They lead it 26-14 over Sweden at halftime. I think we're going to see some numbers. Why don't you talk us through those?
Yeah, I think it's all about Sweden, really. 2 of 19. We always talk about it. They live and they are dying by the three-point line today, Jeff. We always talk about how much they, you know, they don't care. They shoot the 3 and they'll continue. And then steals only 1, and then rebounding there you see. Bentley 7, but for me, it's all about the Belarusian post players. They are killing them inside them, making them second guess themselves. You know, block shots, as we see the best players of the first half, and no doubt Virmienka here, jump shot, nothing but net. And then also Popova and Hassler. It's just too tough, too big, too strong, and I don't really think they have an answer. And I said this a couple of days ago. I knew Sweden, unfortunately,
for them.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Belarus, unfortunately for Sweden.
Yeah, doesn't have enough power. That lady there, the 17-year-old, is doing well, but hopefully for me, I would like them to see, instead of trying to get the pick and roll and the small player versus the Belarusians big player, I would like the post players post up the smaller players, if that makes sense. Yeah. So hopefully they get to talk about that in halftime. And let's pray for some three-point shots to go in.
Well, you alluded to it, and it just illustrates, you know, okay, so there are only 3 blocks for Belarus, but they've also impacted maybe another 15.
Yeah, but they're also...
To put it mildly, they've gotten inside their heads.
Yeah, they've impacted their minds, Jeff. They've impacted their minds big time, that they're afraid to go in there and get a strong, easy layup. It's all jump shots and it's all three-pointers, and that's not going to do it.
So what can Coach Crespi do to turn things around for Sweden? You would imagine you would have to...
do you maybe play a zone, maybe? Pack in the paint. Play a 3-2 or something like that. Pack in the paint, or a box and 1, or just change something defensively. You need to pack in the paint, but the thing is, with the zone, it really opens you up for rebounding.
I think defensively they're fine. I just think it's offensively is where, you know,
they struggle.
Just look, they've only allowed 26 points for Sweden. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, true.
I think they're fine with that.
And they've only put up 14. Yeah, you're right.
They just can't
buy a bucket.
Yeah, they gotta. I think they really need to get Ellen Nystrom back in the game.
Did you say they only had 4 points that quarter?
Yeah, they only had 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Struggle
11-4. So Bentley, she had 7 points, but she was only 2 for 7, 1 of 5 inside the arc. Anyway, let's take a break and look at some of the top plays, and we'll be right back.
Joannas falls, somehow gets the ball to Gruda. Great pass off the floor. Assist for Sunday Gruda. Nice steal by Delic, and she's off to the races. She passes it off to Tevin, and a nice fast break basket there from Bosnia. And you see the emotion the ball away.
Sylvia Dominguez again in the right corner. Here she is, one of the all-time greats. She's got the trophy cabinet to prove it. Oh, nice passing, and finishes with a hill layup.
Inside, look at that.
The handoff to Bentley. Shot clock winding down. She makes the trap. She gets a little bit of space. She puts it up. Oh! She's made the shot. Lavinia hits the backboard. It is heartbreak for Spain. What a shot, Bentley.
We have walked this land for a long time. We know how far we've gone, and we're sure of how far we can go. Unity is not just a word here. It's not just a spirit in this sport. It's the way we all move. We are proud of our art, country, family, language, and culture. We are united by basketball.
Welcome to FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022.
Un 40 minutos para mentalizarte. Piensa que la primera es peor que la segunda. ¿Por qué? Porque es más larga. Se le queda menos tiempo.
26-24, Belarus on top of Sweden at halftime in the quarterfinal here, the first quarterfinal in Valencia, Spain at the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. The winner will advance to face the winner of France's quarterfinal against Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Coach, this game feels like deja vu. You're struggling offensively. What can be the solution for you?
I think that first, when we played 3 days ago against Belarus, they scored in the first half, in the first quarter, 25 points. And they scored half time 26. So it's much better on defense. On offense, we miss a lot of shots. I think that I could answer in very easily way. Okay, we need to score. But also, they are switching, they are playing when the Frida has the ball 3-2. We need to cover the area behind the ball to create more spacing.
Thank you, good luck for the second half. Coach, you're up by 12 at halftime. What did you tell your players in the locker room?
I tell about we must fix it our rebound. It's too much of Sweden get too much offensive rebound, and we must score easy point. That's it. I think we play good in defense, but this element must be better.
Thank you. Good luck for the second half.
Sweden have it all to do, trailing 26-14 at halftime. Alexandra Bentley with 7 points. She's been held in check, but the main issue hasn't been the defense for Sweden. It's been how to score. And Zandy, I'm not sure if you fully followed what Coach Marco Crespi said, but he alluded to the fact that the Belarus are playing a 3-2 zone to close off the impact of Frida Eldebrink. They need to be able to attack behind. Deeper to the basket, I guess, or in the corners or whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I said. You know, they've done their scouting just like, you know, Sweden's worried about Bentley. They're worried about the Eldebrink sisters. They know how tough they are. So for me, like I said in the second quarter, is that they need to execute down low with their post players. They get the big ones out on the switch and then go inside. But you know, this team shoots a lot of threes, and hopefully you don't have two halves of awful shooting, and they see some of the balls go into that basket and just get their confidence back, because this team, the Swedish team, is all confidence for me. You know, when they see the ball go in, the team gets you know, up on their feet, they're smiling, they're clapping. They've lost that right now. They've been punched in the throat and they can't handle it. So hopefully they get their first 2-3 shots in and get back into it. It's a really low scoring game, and this is what we're seeing with Belarus. They're not a big high scoring, you know what I mean, offensive team. They're in the 50s and the 60s, not even that. So, you know, a couple threes for Sweden, Jeff, and they're right back in it.
Well, if they're going to hit a couple threes, maybe the player that I keep talking about, Ellen Nystrom, would be essential in that respect. Three-point shooting, you could talk about how they have struggled when they put the ball on the deck and gone to the basket, but we know that Sweden can shoot better than 2 of 19 that they showed in that first half. So, you know, and you know, they were settling for three-point attempts from Bintha Drame. She just simply did not hit any. She was 0 for 5 late. That's not to blame her, but it just seemed like they were kind of lost for ideas. Frida Eldebrink, 1 of 5 also from three-point range.
But I think we have to, you know, congratulate Belarus, because they are playing such tough defense down low. They're making Sweden second guess their shots.
Well, welcome back, folks. Second half action underway here in La Fonteta, Valencia. And Johansson gets in, and that was an immediate strike.
Jeff.
Unbelievable.
Do you see that?
I don't know if you're a coach, Zania, if you're a referee or a player. Just make up your mind, will you?
I like to be all of them. And look at that, straight away. Get the switch, go inside. Thank you, Sweden.
So that was attacking behind the 3-2 zone as Crespi wanted, and now Vermayenki gets in and misses, but then follows up the miss with an offensive rebound and putback. So will Sweden again attack down low? Oh, Johansson's going to launch it. Doesn't have a bad-looking three-point shot, that's for sure. That was such a big start for Vermayenka offensively for Belarus. Now Popova, Ziaskova in the left, and Johansson with another rebound.
Good defense by Sweden. You'll live with that.
Boy, Frida Eldebrink had a hard time getting the basketball. Liktarovic slides over. Now Ellen Nystrom, oh, there you go, puts it on the deck and earns a trip to the free throw line. I like it, you know, because Nystrom is such a good shooter. She's going to draw the defense to her, so she's got to be able to put the ball on the deck and go hard.
Much better first few minutes here by Sweden. Well done. They obviously spoke about what they wanted. Look, pick and roll, nice for Sweden. And then they get Nystrom to the line where they have they shot any free throws? I don't even think I don't remember. It doesn't need to shoot, but that's the aggressiveness that you need. You need to force the referees into calling fouls.
So yeah, that was their first two free throws of the game, and once again, look at Ziaskova. And Marco Crespi is sitting down. I don't know if that was Hansen slow to react to help. I'm not sure what he was upset about there. Good job for Eldebrink, 3-on-2, and Lloyd drives in. They get two quickly. Belarus guilty of reacting too slowly there. We're back to a 10-point deficit now for Sweden. Where there's hope, there's life. Vermayenka. And the ball chased down in the corner. Well, if they're going to have Vermayenka shoot the basketball, I'm guessing they would rather her be outside. Belarus in the man right now. Quick pass down low. Oh, nice pump fake. Eldebrink. She knows how valuable those opportunities are, that she has to put them away.
Great few minutes for Sweden here on defense and offense. If they could just get another stop. Tough Lloyd there with the...
With 4.7 seconds left on the shot clock, Lloyd fouls, reaches in.
Let's have a look. This is Frida's little drop-off pass to Lloyd. Back in the game, Jeff, 10-point game, you know? It's a long, long game, and can't count Sweden out.
And Alison Nystrom has come back in for Johansson. So I think that was definitely defensively, something wasn't right. And an air ball from Popova. And good hands by Popova, almost causing the turnover. And then Alison Nystrom, how in the world did she not turn that basketball over? Here's Lloyd. She goes right at Liktarovic. Good defense by Liktarovic. Stayed in front of her and even got a hand up.
To me, Nystrom, number 58, Jeff, needs to put a body on Vermayenka when she's trying to get the rebounds. You box her out first, that gives you the space.
Yeah, you don't go for the ball.
Yeah, she's going to out-jump you. She's a whole foot taller than you, darling. You've got to put a body on her, box her out, and get the rebound.
Popova. And Yellen complaining about a push-off from Popova, but she's called for the foul. Popova putting the pressure on her, going to the basket. Can you read lips?
No, I can't. I was trying to, I'm not going to lie.
Popova makes her first. It's a quiet 7 points. She makes 1 of 2. And the lead back to 11 points, though, for Belarus. Eldebrink over to Lloyd, puts it on the deck, and drives hard. Vermayenka affected the shot. So 14 on the shot clock. Oh, I wonder if that's what Crespi wants. He wants to see her be more aggressive, to go right at Veremeyinka. And then if she blocks it or doesn't make the shot, Sweden have to crash the boards. Eldebrink looks for a little bit of space. Bentley with a little bit of help. Five on the shot clock. And they do inbound the basketball to Eldebrink, and Yalen there, and not successful, but Nystrom is. And maybe that's it. Let's attack the basket. Let's make them move, and let's crash the boards.
And this is the first time a player has rebounded the ball and gone straight up. They've always rebounded and looked to kick it out. And you know, they are a good shooting free throw team. This will be their third and only free throw. So, you know, they haven't been aggressive to the rim. And so when they do, you get rewarded, and that's what I was talking about. Put pressure on the referees to have to pull.
And there they are. They crash in the boards. They end up getting a three-point trip down the floor, Sweden. And now they're down by just 8 points. Popova, meanwhile, has 3 fouls. So you would think Hasper would be getting off the bench soon enough. I don't even see Hasper. Oh no, she's on the second level bench during these COVID times. So Zhyskova and Likharovich go out. Tarasova and Retsikava come back in. And there is a little bit of momentum right now with Sweden. It's imperative that they have a good defensive stop here. Lloyd goes down on Bentley. Uh-oh, they let her free. That's her spot on the floor every time.
Yep. She gets there and she finds a way, doesn't she, Jeff?
I don't understand Lloyd going out and guarding Bentley like that. She just allowed her to pretty much get to her spot on the floor. Eldebrink, Yellen Eldebrink hits the shot from the line. Tarasova gets at the line. Nope, probably not what Belarus were looking for offensively. And Sweden now starting to ask some questions of Belarus when they've got the ball. Hasper is going to come into the game. Eldebrink, Nystrom, Bentley goes down. They tell her to get up. Nystrom goes up, and Veremeyinka with another swat.
Yep. Here she comes.
That was a delayed reaction by me. I was almost waiting for a foul to be called. Nystrom. There they are, guarding Bentley. Popova for 3. Good! Well, that's the problem when you double. Somebody's going to be open.
Clutch 3 there by Popova, Jeff. Wow. And an offensive foul as Bentley screams. And you know what? Good defense by her, but you know what? I don't think Sweden has shot their 3. This time they're trying to push, as we see Popova shooting her 3, but they're trying to get something at the rim. A much, much better offensive quarter for Sweden. The 3s aren't dropping. Thank you. Okay, let's do something else.
But what's interesting is the way they're guarding Bentley. Lloyd ran right at her.
Yeah.
Okay, and that allowed Bentley to go past her and to hit the jump shot. And now the last time they doubled her, but that left Popova wide open. And we know Popova can hit the three-point shot. Here's Nystrom coming up, getting the ball out of the hands, and Hasper come back, and good D by Nystrom. Perhaps Hasper, oh, what a bounce, what a pass, what a basket!
Okay, here comes Sweden.
They're making it competitive. Cross-court pass now, and Nystrom reaches in, denies Popova the basketball. 5 fouls now on Sweden in the quarter. Belarus shooting them the rest of the way.
And this fast break layup Coach Crispy spoke about. We want to go quick in our transition, make them have to guard us full court. And that is definitely an advantage for Sweden, as Bentley will take a few minutes out.
So the UMMC Katernberg big makes the first and takes it back up to a 10-point lead. 11 points for Popova, and she sinks both. So now that becomes a factor.
Yeah, and she's got 12 points now, Popova.
Key moments here with Memphis backing it.
With Bentley out, they need to get something going
also,
here.
Fontaine didn't play particularly well in the first half. She's got it. She puts it up.
Somebody's got to stop the ball. Okay, Chris picks the ball up.
The bare minimum, this unit here for Sweden has to play defense. A rebound, and they get a steal as Fontaine in the open floor. She pulls it up. Oh boy. Contact there. Elderbrink for 3.
I'm just wishing for one of these to just go in, Jeff, please.
Just for a close game.
Yeah, I just want it to go in so they can, you know, feel themselves, get confident.
Tarasova, certainly Belarus have not put this game away, but that can happen. Here is Nystrom again. Oh, wonderful patience by Popova.
That's all Drame's fault there. Just got caught sleeping, looking at the ball and not her man. Look at this back door there, wide open.
Just left completely.
Yeah.
It's not good enough just to raise your hand.
My bad.
Say my bad. You know, they just scored 2 points, the lead back to 13.
Yep.
So with Bentley on the bench, Belarus extending their lead. Let's hear Coach Crespi.
Stop, or buy my father in 5 seconds, or we call this system. And so we can beat them. Now be wild every time that because they are ready about that. Okay? Are we confident about that? Okay? Let's go.
Yeah, basically, Coach Crespi saying we got to be courageous here. Don't be afraid of them. Go hard at them. 14 offensive rebounds for Sweden. 8 second chance points. From that standpoint, they have really done better than in the previous game. And for Belarus, you know that Stevenson is going to be tough. But what makes them tough also is that it's really, they've got 4 really good options offensively with Popova, Vermayinka, Stevenson, and Casper,
Yeah, and Bentley.
Bentley.
But down low,
Popova.
Yeah.
Why don't you pop on over and tell me about Popova? Here we go. The live action, 12 minutes left in the game. Fontaine. They want to drive. Lundqvist back to Frida Elderbrink. And she goes to the left hand. Boy, that was
pretty.
Sweden fans holding their breath that they wouldn't say that she dragged her pivot.
Yeah, again, something to the basket, Jeff.
Remember, Vermayinka on the bench. So is Stevenson. There's Hasper. And she is fouled as she turns.
Coach Crispi asking, please. Referee on the baseline called it, but it was this referee close to us. Jeff, tough for Nystrom there because so did just put her hand and kind of hooked her. And that's tough. Very smart by the offensive player, sadly.
Okay, so Yelena said, I understand, I know you're frustrated, we do the best we can, but if you react like that again, you're going to get a technical.
And the ball doesn't lie, so she misses the first.
The basketball gods have rendered their judgment. It was a 50-50 call because she made the second.
There you go.
So back to 12 points. Invariably, if we ever call out the refs, they always tell us the next game. By the way, you were saying this. Well, just so you know, Lundqvist, nice one right at the line.
Yeah, we have a good relationship with them.
And the players and the fans and the coaches and the chef, obviously.
We're famous here, Jeff.
Yep.
Jeff Taylor, everyone. FIBA's GOAT, if you didn't know.
Because I make noises like that. Here we go. And extra effort. Oh, boy.
A rare miss.
Sequence that time for Sweden.
Rare miss from Popova.
Tarasova goes right at Eldebrink. Pulls up mid-range. Just like in the back garden. Back in Minsk.
Sweden needs to get stops here. They can't trade blow for blows, that's for sure.
Lundqvist. And I like it. She was strong with the basketball, Lundqvist. And Hasper looks. I wouldn't want her looking at me like that. Jeez.
The look of death, wasn't that? She looked at the referees like, what? Let's have a look. Yeah, of course it is. She slaps down, it's easy.
I think she was saying that it was...
What?
Should be a shooting frame.
Oh.
Zuskova back in for Tarasova. So Tarasova shakes and bakes and hits the jumper, then her reward is to come out. And Lundqvist misses. Oh, the pressure of these free throws for both teams, but especially Sweden. Ooh, boy.
That's a shame because they need those freebies at the line.
Oh, look at Lundqvist gambling. Great defense by Lundqvist. She's very sneaky defensively.
Yeah.
Sneaky good.
The 3 from 6 now from the line, Jeff, 50%. Ranked last in the EuroBasket at free throws. It's interesting stat. Really like positive vibes here, either way. Popova here, nice turnaround.
Oh, boy. They love the glass, and so does Popova. 14 points to lead, and Liktorovic fouls Eldebrink. We've got no more to give, so 5.3 seconds left. Drama ends up, puts it up. And her cold shooting game continues. She's played well at this FIBA Women's EuroBasket drama, but she just can't get it to drop in this one. And Belarus extend their lead in the third quarter. With 10 minutes remaining, Belarus leads Sweden 45-31.
And here at the end of the quarter stats, still 2 from 20 from the three-point line for Sweden. Struggle City, no doubt. And then Belarus is doing okay. They're going inside to their bigs and what works for them as we get to see the third quarter best play highlights. For me, even though they're not shooting well from the three-point line, I don't really think they took that many this quarter, Jeff, and they had like highlights like this. Going to the paint, putting pressure, getting to the free throw line, making Belarus have to defend them low. Much better quarter for Sweden if they can just get some stops and maybe hit some threes. It might be back into it, but I just think Belarus is way too powerful for them.
Well, don't forget, even if Sweden or Belarus lose this game, it will not be completely ruinous. Of course, they won't have a chance to get to the podium, but they would still have a chance to play for a spot in one of the qualifying tournaments for next year's 12-team FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in Sydney, Australia. And you can see the highlight there, Crespi, how he goes to his knees begging for a little bit better defense.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Sweden can be top 6. I thought that was going to be Italy. I did bet my money on them, but Sweden beat them, so Sweden will take their place, in my opinion.
Well, you never know. I mean, they could. Are they in the bracket with France and Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Bosnia is playing very well. They're actually playing right now versus France.
Fourth quarter action underway here in Valencia between Belarus and Sweden. Vermayenka back in the game for Belarus, as well as Stevenson. Lloyd is back in for Sweden, as is Johansson for the Swedes. And they dump it down low. Great defense by Fontaine. 1.5 seconds remains. Great block by Nat Fontaine. Look at that.
Great. See, they really missed her last game, but glad to see that she's back. Good job. Good defense. That was nearly a 5-second call. Lufchrist.
Now, with 0.1 seconds remaining, the only thing they can do is tap it at the rim. No. The good news for Vermayenka there is that that is not counted as a shot. It was an air ball, but the buzzer sounded beforehand.
Hey, Jeff, it's a 5-point game, France versus
Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all about close games, thrills, and spills in the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Except right now here, it's a 14-point game for Sweden. And the struggles continue, 3-point shooting-wise, for Sweden. Vermayenka, oh boy, look at it. Goes, fades away. That is just something else, isn't it?
Poetic. Yeah. So beautiful. Drives, turnaround jump shot. It's what she does well, and that is her money. That's how she makes her money, Jeff. Wow.
16 points, the biggest lead of the game. Eldebrink drives in, misses with the left hand. And Crespi's going to call timeout. Great help from Lloyd to knock it out of bounds. You got to really tip your hat to Belarus. They have evolved, they have grown. You know, they just needed, I think really as you look at Vermayenka here, and what can only be described as an unstoppable shot, you got to tip your hat to them. They won that big game against Spain. I'll be quiet, we'll talk about that in just a second.
You arrive, big man arrive over there. No set for screen, immediately you go. So they are respected, and maybe you are by yourself, because otherwise they organize defense, okay? If we have the first post screen, regular. To flash, regular. But when they play smoke, you arrive here, you go not, and you sleep immediately ready. And then we need to attack immediately, okay? Because otherwise they don't play the same defense, okay? Let's go, eh? Let's go about that. About our defense. Remember, one guy got to run.
Well, I'm guessing it's one of the post players for Belarus's highlights.
Well, you know, with Belarus, we need to go back again and revisit that ugly night on opening night between Belarus and Spain. And let's just put this out there. It was not a pretty game. And one of those teams, I think if Belarus had lost that game, they could have gone off the rails. I mean, because they were bad the next game as well. They got beat by Slovakia. But boy, they held on. They got the win by the last second shot from Bentley. And look at Popova there, 14 points, 8 rebounds. And they just kind of grown, you know, and certainly they know how to play against Sweden because they have become their worst nightmare.
Belarus is crying out, saying that it should have been their ball after that timeout.
Well, the basketball gods get it back. I can't remember to be honest.
Yeah, Bentley saying, "Are you sure, Mr. Referee?" But they want to talk about it, and the referees will. What do you do here? Game's already started. What do you do? Change the possession arrow? Anyway, referees will have a speak with us later, no doubt.
I guess you could always go back and put the amount of time that was on the clock. Look at the video. So Thomas says,
maybe she
my
says,
mistake.
My mistake. Whoopsies. Anyway.
You know, when it's a 16-point lead, it's probably not as vital. If you're going to make that mistake, you want to make it at that point.
Yeah, but it's nice for them to just say, you know what, we made the mistake, hands up. Only human.
Pass to Hasper. And Viktorovic there for the offensive rebound. Fouled before she puts the shot up.
Hasper's in there for a very long time, Jeff. I'm talking about building a house. Here she makes her move, but I felt like she was in the 3-second violation 3-4 times over.
Boyd picks up the basketball. So Sweden might have called a break there. Fontaine goes right at Hasper, and they're going to count it. Well, that's exactly what Crespi wants. He wants them to attack, draw the contact, crash the boards.
An excellent move here by Fontaine. Gets Hassler moving and just puts her hand on her neck, and good move from her. She, you know, struggled through this tournament, just some few little niggle injuries, so I'm really happy for her to make that move and be rewarded at the line.
And Vermeyenko was a little bit slow in reacting to help out. So it gets it back to a 13-point deficit for Sweden. Popova, her pass intercepted by Fontaine, who's suddenly becoming a factor. Eldebrink was wanting to stop and pop on the break. They've given time to regather themselves defensively to get set.
Go inside. What is she doing? Post up.
There's Fontaine. She stepped out of bounds. That is incredible that they come away with nothing.
You see Johansson, number 22, the 17-year-old, needs to post up the small guard.
Yeah.
Ugh, they're going to give me a heart attack, Jeff.
You know, yes, you're right, and yes, you should, and she's been told, and that's one of the things about gaining experience, I guess. Here you go, down low, the foul, good strong move by Popova, who's having one of her better games.
If I get to see her in the arena, Alice, I'm gonna have a little chat with her. Just give her a little veteran, you know, talk.
Alice or Emma?
Emma.
Johansson, yeah.
Johansson, number 22. 17, but she's not realizing the mismatch and how important that is. And even if you don't get the ball, posting up big as Popova hits that, the defense have to react to you. Anyway.
Well, all you have to do is admire this Belarus team for how they have gone about their business. Eldebrink. Great defense by Vermeyenko and Bentley. Goes up against Johansson. Yep, and you can see the sense of urgency with that rebound for Frida Eldebrink, but they can't come down and just use up the full 24 seconds on the shot clock.
No, they need quick offense.
Well, there she goes. And I tell you, it's feast or famine for Sweden when it comes to three-point shooting, isn't it? And today it's been famine. It has been just an awful display for them. 2 for 22.
2 for 22.
That's 9%. Italy must be thinking, why didn't you shoot that way against us?
Right.
Yellen, that's another, well.
We get one.
Now 3 of 23.
Well, shooters keep shooting, that's for sure.
It's not over. 49-37, Belarus on top. That shot has just breathed a little bit of life. They need to stop here. Shot clock winding down. Tough matchup here for Fontaine. She gets the hand up, and the ball doesn't drop for Bentley.
Need something quick. None of this long offense. in my opinion.
Elderbrink drives in, foul, she puts it up, and they're going to count it. Nope, they're going to say before the shot.
On the floor.
It's only the second team foul on Belarus. So with 4:43, there's life in the old legs yet. I mean, they are hanging tough.
Substitution for both teams in the game for Belarus. Victoria Hassan, the 21 replacement number 7.
Well, Hassa comes back in for Veremienka, so big for big.
Also, Nystrom back in the game. And tough move. 2 shots coming for Yellen Elderbrink. That's 4 fouls on Popova.
Is it?
Yep.
Wow, it sure is. You were correct. That could be quite big. Right now, they haven't sent anyone to sub her in, but I'm going to leave her in there. You have to trust your players with 4 fouls.
Sweden have out-rebounded Belarus 41-36. Now they're getting the free throw shooting percentage up, 6 of 9 up to 66%, 67%, which is acceptable, I guess, but you want to be higher. Timeout, 10-point game, folks. Hey, don't go away. Natalia Trofimova, the coach of Belarus, I think quite rightly sensing we need to kind of reorganize here.
Yeah, have a chat.
Alex, again, you play all too long. Share the ball. Fast, back, hand play, okay? I got you, my bad. Хорошо, дамы, давайте попробуем еще раз нога вниз. Нога вниз. Пас в сторону там, где Алекс. Чтобы она выходила вниз.
Well, we get to see some, no doubt, post-player highlights. My favorite, Popova into Veremienka, as she gets her own rebound there. I'm a fan of these post players. They can do it all here. Puts it on the floor, reverse.
You know, Zania,
yes.
Whatever happens to this, I like the coaches for both of these teams for different reasons, but I think Crespi's a good fit for Sweden. He's, you know, he draws up the game plan. He's enthusiastic. He believes in the young people. Look at the double-double from Veremienka, 11 and 10. And he's been able to identify players to bring them into the program that can help. And the Sweden team has, you know, maybe the Sweden team of old would have already given up, but they've actually come back now and pulled to within 10 points. Maybe not given up, but wouldn't have been able to come back is probably more like how you say it. Shot clock winding down. Bentley, and it gives a chance to run for Sweden. Here comes Frida Elderbrink in the open floor. She doesn't control it well. She thought about launching it. She does. Off the front of the rim. She never, for some reason, looked comfortable taking that shot.
Second guessed it, that's why.
For some reason, she pulled up. I don't know if she was trying to make a pass.
Yeah, and she's frustrated with herself because she just needs to see one go in. But yet again, they're at 3 from 24, Jeff.
And Frida is 1 for 8 from three-point range after that miss. Juskova. Here's Bentley, shot clock winding down. She pulls up, gets the long rebound. New 14. 3.5 minutes remaining. Clock isn't the enemy, but it's about to be. Here's Liktorovic, drives in, oh boy, tough move. Oh no, they can't get it away from Popova. Great rebound by the veteran, who probably has been the player of the game. 16 points, 9 rebounds, and the foul called. 10 rebounds now, in fact, for Popova. So she's got the double-double.
So does Veremienka. Both have a double-double.
They do. I mean, you know, Sweden have done. They've been combative on the boards.
Yeah, but for me, they can't out-jump. We're talking about 6'6", 6'6", and a 7-foot reach with their hands up in the air. You have to box out these players. You can't jump. A jumping game, they're going to lose every single time.
Why don't she go serve as a consultant? Here we go, Vermienka, beautiful pump fake. Oh, and she's gonna get a 3-point play opportunity. That's just a low post move.
And
great footwork.
And Scout too, Jeff. Guess what? Which way does she want to go? She wants to go to her left hand every time. So, no doubt that young lady is a big, big talent, and you'll see a lot of her through Sweden, but
she just has to learn.
She'll have to learn, and these are the moments where you do learn, because a vet will make a fool of you very, very quick, and no doubt Veremienka did that.
They're using way too much time here. Drummond drives in. Less than 2:40 remaining. Zyuskova over to Viktorovich, and that'll force him to reset the shot clock. In the old days, Viktorovich just would have launched that three. She really has held back. You know, for whatever reason, isn't as confident, or maybe her coach has said, listen, your strength to us is your defense. But look at the double-double, 16 and 11 for Popova.
Wow. Post players are putting on a clinic today, Jeff.
Well, listen to Coach Crespi.
Okay, and then they want to avoid, move, one dribble, and you make foul, okay? This, okay, and let's go with confidence, take 3-point shot also, quick 3-point shot.
You heard that, go quick. 3-point shots, go quick. I mean, it's, unfortunately for Sweden, it's a case of where you just do not want to fall behind any team. That, you know, they're a team that needs to play with confidence and to play from the front. And if they don't have a good start, it really does make life difficult for them.
There you see the Sweden fans having a good old time. They came out in force, didn't they?
Yep.
It's nice to see fans back in the arena.
They're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
you know,
why not dance?
They're in the quarterfinals of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. It didn't look like they were going to make it this far, but they got a big win over Italy. And, you know, if they don't come back and win this, they'll play for a spot in the qualifying tournaments for the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. So, you know, they've got a lot of important minutes ahead of them.
Yeah, and it's looking like
Stevenson.
And it's looking like they'll have...
I don't think they can review whether or not it was a charge or a block. The block is called. Watch this.
Let's have a look.
Well, as we had it explained to us, if the offensive player kind of goes right towards them in the middle and isn't using the, you know, trying to turn to go by them, that would be a charge.
Oh yeah, I heard him. You had a nice little chat with him, didn't you, with that rule?
Yep.
I think we're professional refereeing now, don't you think?
I think we have a better grasp, perhaps is the way to put it.
Yeah, I need to see the reffing book so I can refer to the actual numbers. I kind of like that when they do that.
15 points, the lead for Belarus. Sweden, the clock is the enemy now. You got to put it up.
Travel.
And it looked awkward.
And you hear Bentley just scream. She's happy with that. Travel, good defense. That's why she's excited. She plays both ends. She gets excited for when she scores and excited for defense.
They are one of the stories of this FIBA Women's EuroBasket. Belarus, a team that has given us so many thrills over the years. Right now, they are in the process of giving us another one. Nobody was talking about Belarus before the tournament. They're certainly talking about them now. That bump is out of bounds.
And that's Sweden over the limit now, Jeff. So for the last 1 minute and 36 seconds, Belarus will get some freebies at the line.
So it looks like it's going to be France and Belarus in one semifinal. As France are on top pretty big now against Bosnia and Herzegovina, another of the nice stories at this EuroBasket.
Yeah, and I think Jonquil Jones would be too much for Sweden, so they got another post-player problem.
And it'll be Sweden against, let's see.
Oh, it's not Bosnia?
Trying to see who they would play. I think it would be.
Yeah, it's the loser of that French game.
Yeah, okay. So the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Belarus playing pretty much a full shot clock the time as their friend, so luckily they didn't get a shot up, but they're in full control as the Elderbrink sisters will bring the ball up.
So Belarus putting the finishing touches on an impressive show for the second time against Sweden. Montan gets in the paint, turns around, and the foul has been called. So Fontaine goes to the line.
I'm a Fontaine fan. Jeff, I think she plays really solid for Sweden.
She does, and you know, she's fully fit.
Yeah, she's
without injuries, that is.
I felt like she played solid defense on their bigs as well. She's probably their only kind of down low player who's got a lot of experience. She plays overseas and has to guard bigger post players, that's for sure. Gets a friendly roll, exposed.
She was excellent in the opening day win over Slovakia. So Belarus moving towards a showdown with France in the semifinals. Pova loses it out of bounds, but it goes off of Lloyd. So 5 seconds on the shot clock, and Trofimova wants to call another timeout. So I guess they want to have a chance to run a play here, just to get, might become useful.
Yes,
or does she want to get some substitute? Maybe she wants to make some substitutions.
I don't know, maybe you're right. You learn from this situation because the next time you're playing is France, so it's going to be a much, much tougher ask as we listen in to the timeout. You know what, Belarus doesn't shoot a good clip from the three-point line either. They've shot 3 from 14, 21%, Jeff, but obviously Sweden love the 3, but they've shot 3 from 24. So if I'm scouting Belarus, I'm letting them shoot the 3. They're killing you inside the paint every single time.
Yeah, you want to get a hand in the face of Bentley if you can, and Popova, but other than that.
Well executed.
Yeah, that's why you run that play. It'll come in handy later, unless somebody's, one of the other coaches is watching this game, and they're going to count it.
That's only Veromienka's first foul, so pretty good day for her if that's only her first foul. As a few smiles on the Belarus bench as they know they're going through to the next round.
So many factors in this win. You know, I think right at the top of the list for Belarus, you just have to say they've got quality in the shape of Bentley, of Veromienka, of Popova, we knew that. They've had great performances from Hasper. And let's also don't forget that their 2 best games have come against Sweden. And they're going to have a huge game coming up against France. That will be a different beast, so to speak.
Yeah. You know how they kind of overpowered Sweden. I think it's going to be the opposite for. But hey, we thought they were going to, you know, not beat Spain, and they came out and beat Spain. They could make it ugly, they could make it tough. But for me, I have France winning the whole tournament, Jeff. So I need them to win for my bracket to look good.
I had it as well. And I think Gruda and Mia.
Gruda's playing fantastic right now. She's a mobile big.
Just too many bigs.
Yeah, she's going to give them problems. And
maybe
also, Jeff, they don't score enough for me. France is putting up 100 points, 80 points, 90 points. We've seen Belarus put up 58 today, but they're not putting up enough points to win that game, in my opinion.
Marco Crespi. Not sure he could have done anything else today to get ready for this game.
Let's see this play that they drew up. They execute it.
Well, that was the perfect chance for Likorovic to try the 3. So shot clock violation, a little bit anticlimactic at the end. Sweden are going to have to put this disappointment behind them, and they're just going to dribble it out. And they go up and give warm hugs, embraces. Look at this, folks. You may not have thought about Belarus beforehand, but look at them now. They're partying in mid-court. They are going to the semifinals of the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. They win 58-46 over Sweden. Well, give credit where credit is due. Belarus came out today, just like last time, as they got directly to the quarterfinals by winning it. I'm not sure what that was. Belarus, well, they are in the semifinals where they're going to meet, it appears, France. And this incredible journey for this national team. They got a couple of days off now to rest up. They'll no doubt enjoy some nice paella here in the home of paella, Valencia. And Trofimova, great moment for her coaching staff. These players, they've been able to buy in, to focus, and ultimately you have to want it as a player. And quite clearly, Vermainka still wants it in a big way. She is right now on the all-tournament team for me. I mean, she is just
absolutely
makes. As you could also argue that Bentley could end up being on there as well, the way this is going.
Bentley's
Fourth
in the race.
semifinal appearance for Belarus in the FIBA Women's EuroBasket. So that is, in my opinion, a hallmark of excellence.
Yeah, Bentley's in the run for MVP, but today for me, the post players was the MVP, Popova, Vermainka, as we see the end stats for me. The three-point shot killed Sweden, 12%. And there you see Belarus screaming, shouting, yeah, we made it through. You know, actually, surprisingly, in the rebounding game, 41-42, Sweden actually won that. And then steals 4-1, but Popova, Vermainka, Bentley are a three killer offensive weapons that Belarus definitely have. But after that, who's really going to step up if you're going to play a French team full of a whole team of weapons, really? You've got a lot to ask for. But here, that lady there, 22, Johansson, she's going to be definitely a bright spark for Sweden. I'm definitely going to try and have a chat with her before they go, because I think I can just give her a few little tips for her career.
Receive that gratefully.
Yes, Jeff?
You know, Sweden are kind of at that level right now where they're trying to make that next step up. The Elderbrink sisters, they're not getting any younger, but yet we did see some some newcomers. I mean, where are they as a program? I mean, and what do you do to make that next step?
Well, they definitely are missing their Zawi B, I think, a big post player, which could have helped them today against successful Belarusian posts.
Reagan McGarity is another.
Yeah, so they're definitely missing some key pieces. But tough for them. And, you know, their tournament isn't over. They're not going home. They're going to still try and push for the last 6 spots. 6 spots go to Australia next year. So, hey.
For the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup.
Yeah, for the World Cup. So there's still lots to play for. This isn't the end for them, so they need to rest up. There's 2 days off, and so they can rest up, scout, and get ready.
So, yeah, there will be 4 qualifying tournaments for teams. 6 teams will go from the FIBA Women's EuroBasket to those qualifying tournaments. So that is the basketball extravaganza. It's a 12-team tournament, and you want to be there. I mean, if you're a basketball player and somebody says, do you want to go to Sydney, Australia? You're like, yeah, if you're anybody in the world not even playing basketball, you want to go to Sydney because
absolutely
it's one of these bucket list items.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that quite a few have not been there.
I'm trying to go, Jeff. I hope you make it too.
Well, I don't think Great Britain can go because they didn't make it to the EuroBasket.
But
you got to finish in the top 6 to qualify.
Hey, but
as a referee,
or a coach, or a commentator.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck to that.
Thank you.
So Vera Mayenka and her little fadeaway there, once again, proving to be one of the important factors. Popova was excellent. Here we are, folks, the road to the final. So Belarus and France will meet for a spot in the final, and of course, coming up next here in Valencia will be Spain and Serbia. Boy, that's a tasty one. And also in Strasbourg, Belgium and Russia. Well, Belarus came to this tournament dreaming of making it back to the podium, and now they've got 2 chances of doing so. They have won against Sweden. They are in the semifinals where they will take on France.